Welcome back to game 2 of this doubleheader between Justice University and LeMoyne Owen from Memphis, Tennessee. If you're just joining us, you missed out on a great game. First game, 7-6 was the final. That was the first win in Justice program history. Congratulations to Coach Zach and the players for being able to get that one in the books and getting right back out there again and trying to get another one. This time on the mound for the Lions, we're going to start with Austin Watson, the right-handed pitcher from Clovis, California, transfer out of Fresno Pacific University. And his battery mate, Jackson Campbell, the Australian-born catcher. The rest of the lineup here for the Lions. Got Emmerich Avenente again at second base. David Roboloth in right field. The DH today, Rosalino Valenzuela Jr. At first base, Trey Williams. And we're off and running here in game number 2. Up to bat right now is Rivera. It's a 2-0. Watson behind in the count early. Swing and a miss there for Rivera. Watson readies again. Takes the signal from his battery mate. Here comes the pitch. Right down the middle, and that's going to be a strikeout. Apologize, I missed that first strike, so. Lozano, the shortstop, up to bat. Here's the pitch. A little check swing, excuse me, back to the backstop. Watson readies again. Looks in for the sign. Shakes that one off. Good to go there. Here we go with the pitch. Right down the center, rings him up. 2 up, 2 down on strikeouts for Austin Watson. Healthy way to start. Meglis, the outfielder. It was a little bit low, says the umpire. It's a 1-0 count. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the first. No score yet. Pitch in from Watson, called inside by the umpire, 2-0. Watson with the pitch. Glances off the shoulder of Miglis, who's going to take his base on a hit by pitch. So 3 batters up, 2 strikeouts, and a hit by pitch. We're going to see the first baseman Pulnitz. Had a great game in the first game. Really good on defense. Picked up a couple out of the dirt and one over high over his head. Looking to get going here at the plate. And the pitch. Pops that one straight up toward the shortstop. Calls off his teammates and makes the catch for the 3rd out. At the end of the top of the first, 0-0 score. 4 batters up, 2 strikeouts, no earned runs. Zoe, how do you mark like the pop outs? Like, is there a symbol or something, or what do you do to mark it?
F6 to like whatever.
Oh, fly to whoever caught it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. It's the first pitcher. He's got to get warmed up. Back in the bottom of the first inning here. Terrell on the mound for the Magicians. Their lineup is Terrell, the pitcher, his battery mate Marrero, as it was the first game. Marrero had a great game offensively. Hit a home run out at the beginning of the game. 3-run home run, actually, in the first game. First base, we have Pulnitz. Second base, Rivera. Third base is Smith. Shortstop, Lozano. Coleman at right field. Meglis at center. And Bevel at left. Leading off for Justice, the second baseman, Avenete. Called strike there from the umpire. That ball lifted. Nope. Right down the middle in between the gap there out to left field for a hit. So good start from Avenatti. David Robeloth, we saw in the first game. Low called a ball. 1-0 is the count for Robeloth. Checks the sign from Coach Zach over there at third base. Here's the pitch. Avenatti takes off, and he gets there. The ball bounces, hits the second baseman on the head, or the shortstop, I should say, on the head. Just not there quite in time, and that's a stolen base for Avenatti. Low and inside. Good trap by Marrero, the catcher. Robeloth looking at the pitch here. Right at the chest. They're going to call that a strike. 3-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Calling that a strike. Robeloth thought that was low, but steps back in. 3-2, full count. Terrell checks the runner. Here comes the pitch. Kicks it right back up the middle. Picked off well by the second baseman. Gets it over to first for the out. But that is going to put Avenatti over to third. The pitch into Valenzuela Jr. is a DH for this game. 6'5" standing at the plate. Avenatti at third. Called strike. Valenzuela looking for something to hit. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Pop foul. Robeloth sets in. Here's the pitch. Swing. Foul tip back toward the backstop. Terrell takes the sign. Comes in with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got to bring up Trey Williams. Trey Williams, the transfer from Corbin University. Bend, Oregon, originally his home. Terrell readies with the pitch. Brings it in. Williams looks at that, gets away. There's a wild pitch just a little outside. Matt was waiting to say. That first game, we got it this game. So that's a wild pitch that scores Avenatti. 1-0 Lions. collision at first base. Looks like they're calling him out. The runner was out. Tagged out, I believe, by Terrell, the pitcher, who made the run over to first. So that's going to do it for the bottom of the first. But the Lions strike first, 1-0, as we head to the top of the second. So since he ran that one out himself, do you just put a 1? Oh, he picked it up? Okay. Yeah. This is Matt's like sweet spot. Mine's basketball more than this, so. I don't want to talk when I'm speaking unintelligently, you know what I mean? Coming back now to the top of the second inning. Austin Watson back on the mound for the Lions. And to bat is Marrero, the catcher. First pitch strike for Watson. Good way to start out the inning. Watson readies. The pitch coming in. Popped backward, foul. Looks like moving the Prof G-Mobile was a good idea. Because that would have hit the Prof G-Mobile. Good move by producer Jesse in the in-between games there. Here's the pitch. Down and inside for a ball. 1-2 is the count. Pitch coming in. Oh, he hits Marrero right in the helmet. And you could tell he did not mean to do that. Hit him right in the back of the head. Watson came in. Obviously not something he wanted to do. Trying to apologize from a distance. Marrero, being a good sport, he knows that Watson didn't intend that. But scary moment for sure. Brought in a courtesy runner for the catcher there, Marrero. Letting him gather his thoughts here. Watson back on the mound facing Coleman, the outfielder. Man on first. Here's the pitch. Just outside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the pitch from Watson. Popped back foul. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Top of the second, 1-0 is the score. Justice with the early lead. Watson readies. Checks the runner on first. Here comes his pitch. Little low, says the umpire. 1-2 is the count. Excuse me, 2-1 is the count. Watson once again checking on that runner on first. Doesn't have a very sizable lead. There's the pitch. Looking to get some control back here. Watson having a rough few pitches here. Perhaps hit Marrero in the head on accident there was a little rattled him a little bit, but here comes Watson's pitch. Off the end of the bat, little excuse me swing, but we'll take that. That's a 3-2 count. Full count. Man on first. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Watson with the pitch. Hit right back up the center. Picked up well by the second baseman who throws it to first for the out. Runner does advance to second. But that is a 4-3 for the first out of the game. So runner in scoring position for the Magicians. You can look at Bevel, the left fielder. Watson sizes him up. And a pitch. That one struck well to center field. Fielded well. Tagging is the runner going to third. Runner does advance to third. Cy Peterson with the great catch in the outfield, though, and the relay inside. So we have a man on third, 2 out. Smith out here. This is the third baseman. Watson with the pitch. Low, wild pitch. Third base, advancing the run. Can't do anything about it, and that's going to even the score. Both scores coming on wild pitches so far this game. One for the Lions, one for the Magicians. Smith looking to add to that damage. There's the pitch. Up high, 2-0's the count. Smith waits for the pitch. Here comes Watson. Fouls that one back against the backstop. That's 2-1. Two outs, bottom of the first. 1-1 is the score. There's the pitch. Up high again, 3-1. Smith looking for exactly what he wants to hit, or he might just take again this pitch. 3-1 is the count. Watson taking the sign. Here's the pitch. Gets that one right in there for strike two. 3-2 full count. Pitch from Watson in there. Rings him up on strikes. Smith didn't think so. But his third strikeout for Watson, and we head to the top of the second. 2 scores on 2 wild pitches in the first. 1-1 is the score right now. We'll be right back. Back with you live at Skyline High School in Mesa, Arizona. Beautiful view of the Superstition Mountains out to the east. About 77, 78 degrees here on the field. Great day for baseball. 1-1 is the score, top of the second. Leading off for the Lions is Campbell, the catcher. Jackson Campbell, the Australian, coming all the way from Sydney to join this squad this year. It's the pitch, and there's a pop-up backward over. Oh, 1 is the count. Pitch low into the dirt. 1-1 is the count. Good block by Marrero, although nobody on base, so. There's the pitch from Terrell. This one fouled back again behind the Magician's dugout. 1-2. Here's the pitch from Terrell. Excuse me, foul swing there. 1-2, still the count. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Shortstop Federico DiBertini. Three to 7 to start the season. Here's the pitch. Gets a bat on it. Awkward hop, but fielded well by the shortstop, but not in time. Oh, they're calling him out. They're calling him out. It looked like he got to first base, but they're going to call him out, says the first base umpire. No excessive arguments from the coaches, so perhaps my vantage point wasn't as good as others, but he's out nonetheless for a 6-3 out. Here comes the next pitch. Caden Randall up to bat. Randall, the third baseman. Out of Prescott Valley, went to Bradshaw Mountain High School. The pitch, called strike. Prescott Valley just up the mountain, if you're not familiar with the area, about an hour and a half north of Phoenix. Comes the pitch. Terrell working pretty quickly here with no one on base. Randall getting a look here at the pitcher. Into the stretch. And here's the pitch. Randall makes contact. Kind of a little flop over to third base, but the third baseman can't handle that. And he gets on base there. That's going to get scored an infield hit for Caden Randall. Kato Takahashi up to bat. Terrell quickly checking Randall over at first. Here's the pitch. Kato makes good contact, but puts it up into no man's land, but the right fielder in there to make the catch. And down go the Lions. No change in the score. 1-1, heading to the top of the third inning. Back top of the third here. 1-1 is the score. Terrell, the pitcher, leading off for the Magicians. Quickly down 0-1. Watson into the stretch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Terrell trying to make some sort of contact here. Watson ready with the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3. And that's a strikeout swinging. Prof G's learning the scorebook here. So apologies to Matt Shively, who had to leave for the second game. Had another obligation, but your book will be a little bit brutal when you look at it next time. Here's a pitch outside for Watson. Back up to the top of the order is Rivera. Rivera, the second baseman. Here's the pitch from Watson. Called ball again. 2-0 is the count. Watson quickly behind here. Here's the pitch from Watson. Rivera had to lean back on that one to avoid getting hit, but I think he leaned into the plate. That was a called strike. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2. 2-2 is the count. Watson catches back up and rights the ship a bit. Popped up, heading back, and thank you to the tree in front of the Prof G mobile, because that would have been right in the center of the hood on that one. 2-2 still the count. Here comes the pitch. Up high, full count, 3-2. Got some funny sounding birds here. I don't know who it is, but oh, that might be producer Jesse. Watson readies the pitch. Here it comes. That's low. Very patient at bat from Rivera, and he's going to earn a walk. Here comes Lozano, the shortstop. Looking at signals from his coach at third base. Man on first, 1-1 is your score, top of the third. Here's the pitch from Watson, a swing and a miss from Lozano. Went up just a bit high on that ball. Watson checks the runner at first, into the stretch, and the pitch. Runner goes, and dropped ball behind the plate there by Campbell. Can't really do anything to throw out the runner. Rivera also got a really good run and start on that one. Watson readies with the pitch. Called strike right down the middle of the plate. Good pitch from Watson. Rivera back on second, cheering his teammate on. Watson looks, waiting for the sign. Gets the sign into the stretch. And the pitch. Outside. Good catch by Campbell there behind the plate. Watson ready in. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a foul tip. But caught by the catcher. So that's going to be a strikeout. Meglis, the center fielder. There's the pitch from Watson. This one gets popped out to right. Back on it was Robeloth, and he makes the catch for the out. No damage that inning. No runs allowed. 2 strikeouts and a walk. We'll be back here for the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third inning. Leading off for the Lions, Cy Peterson, the center fielder. Terrell ready on the mound. Here comes Peterson to the plate. Here's the pitch. Looks at strike one. Pitch coming from Terrell. Looks at another strike. That one was a little higher, but still within the zone, says the umpire. Pitch coming in. That one is outside. 1-2 is the count. Lions dugout imploring him to battle the situation. That's a foul tip back to the backstop. 1-2 remains the count. Terrell ready with the pitch. Here it is. Low into the dirt. Actually hits the foot of Cy Peterson. That's going to go as a hit by pitch, and Peterson's going to take first base. I believe in game one, and Matt would be better at remembering these things, but I believe he took 2 hit by pitches in game one. So to start off again, he takes another one. Taking him for the team, as they say. Back to the top of the order with Evidente. But first, Terrell throws over to first, hoping to get Peterson. No such luck. Terrell makes his way back up to the mound. Deep breath. Into the stretch. And the pitch. Evidente looking like he was going to bunt, but pulled back, and it's going to get called a ball. 1-0's the count. Peterson thinking about it. Evidente goes for, shows bunts again, pulls back again. 2-0 is the count. Terrell in with the pitch, and he hits his second consecutive batter. That's Evidente taking a hit by pitch now, taking first, and man on first and second, both hit by pitch. And here comes David Roboloth. The Ottawa University transfer steps in. Looks over at Coach Zach for some signs. Umpire clears off the plate. One thing we mentioned in the first broadcast, but not this one, there's no batter's boxes drawn on the field this time, so umpire keeping that plate very clean. Here's the pitch. Strike looking. Looks like maybe they were expecting something a little bit different from him, but Terrell checking the runners. Here comes the pitch. That one struck well through the gap to left field. Rounding the base is Peterson, who's going to head home. The other runners hold at second and first. That ball's gone now, but unfortunately, Evidente was in the dirt and couldn't get up and move. Looks like he might have hurt a shoulder on that slide back to second. But there is a run in. And that's going to be an RBI for Roboloth. RBI single. Praying that Evidente is okay. Evidente looks to be jogging it off here. Hopefully he's okay. He's winding that shoulder up a bit. I think he just may have kind of jammed his shoulder in the plate or in the bag when he went back to second, but hopefully that's not a long-term issue. He is holding it pretty gingerly, but he's staying out there. And now the designated hitter, Valenzuela, looks at a pitch in the dirt. There goes Evidente, who instantly has to slide again head first into third. It's a good sign that he's doing it, but man, giving up his body. Stolen base to third for Evidente. Roboloth on first. Valenzuela Jr. at the plate, the DH. Got Big Joe sitting next to me. He says fastball. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there goes Roboloth. Pitches in. Cut off, though, by the shortstop, trying to protect the run from third. Chose to give up the stolen base to Roboloth. Joe doesn't want to give the stolen base to Evidente, even though he's hurt and giving up his body for the team. Joe says no, it was more of a passed ball. There's a swinging strike. Looks like it tipped off the bat for Valenzuela. 1-2, I believe, is the count. Here's the pitch. Makes contact, sends it foul down the third base line. Terrell has a man on second and third. There's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 2-2. 1 run in for the Lions this inning. And struck out. Valenzuela there. Swing and miss. His second strikeout for the game, unfortunately. We're going to get Trey Williams. Transfer from Corbin University, originally from Bend, Oregon. Terrell getting ready here with the pitch. Bringing it in. Williams batting from the left, takes a strike. Looks back at the umpire. Umpire says a little low. Okay, says Trey. Terrell winding up. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Williams that time. Terrell into the stretch. He's looking for the sign. Here comes the pitch. Outside, says the umpire. The Magician faithful wanted that to be a strikeout. Here comes the pitch from Terrell. Outside again. Terrell sets up here. Here comes his pitch. Makes some contact, bounces up back to the pitcher who throws it over to first for the easy out. But that does score Evidente the RBI for Trey Williams. Campbell up to bat here. Takes a strike. So 2 runs in for the Lions this inning. Scores 3-1. Bottom of the third. Comes the pitch against the backstop. Here comes the runner from third. Nobody's going to get to him, and that's going to be another run scored on a wild pitch. 2 wild pitches result in runs thus far for the Magicians. And that scores Rubeloff. 4-1 is the score here. Campbell steps back in. The catcher waiting for the pitch. Bases are clear now. Ball's up high. Ball 2. Two outs. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Full count, 3-2. Here's the pitch from Terrell. Contact made, going out to the right side. Right fielder's with it. Makes the catch to end the inning. But not before the Lions get on the board with 3 more runs, making that score 4-1. Justice at the end of the 3rd inning. We'll be back with the top of the 4th in just a minute. Back for the top of the 4th inning. Austin Watson back out for the 4th inning. Apologize for any tech issues if they are there. We are on a mobile hotspot, so sometimes that might have something to do with the fact that pictures aren't coming through the way we like, but hopefully you're seeing the action now. That ball comes in up high for 1-0 count. Got Polnitz leading off the 4th inning here, the first baseman. Second pitch high, 2-0. Watson gets set, looking in for the signal. Here comes the pitch. Polnitz pops it up. Caught out there by Avenente, the second baseman, calling off his teammates. Good communication on the field, and that's 1 out. Marrero up to bat. The catcher looks to get things going. Hit by a pitch his first time up, scored a run on the wild pitch. Pops it up foul. That would have hit Papa Prof G's car back there. My dad here enjoying the game with Mom. Chose to move the vehicles during the between games, and it's proved to be a good decision. Here comes the pitch down the middle for a strike. Marrero doesn't like it, shakes his head. Watson ready to bring the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Sixth strikeout of the game for Watson. Now we see Coleman, the right fielder. Correction, left fielder. Coleman, the left fielder. Grounded into a 4-3. Out last. Well struck, but right at the shortstop, who kicks it to the first baseman for the out. And that wraps up the inning. 1, 2, 3. And that'll do it. No runs, no one left on. 4-1 is the score here at the end of the top of the fourth. We'll be right back with the bottom of the fourth inning. Back live here at Skyline High School in Mesa. Bottom of the fourth inning. 4-1 is the score, led by your Justice University Lions. Second half of a doubleheader. Lions took the first one 7-6 for their first win in program history, trying to make it 2. Leading off is Tibertini. Tibertini with the accidental hit of the bat. So that's going to count as a strike, unfortunately. Grounded into a 6-3 first time up. Here's the pitch from Terrell, down low. 1-1. Pitch way outside. 2-1. High and inside. It's 3-1 is the count. Tibertini from Italy, Parma, Italy. One of several international members of this team. And here's the pitch from Terrell. Makes contact down the line. That's going to be foul, just barely over the third base. Tibertini sets up 3-2, full count. Nobody on. Terrell takes a look, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Into the dirt, back to the backstop, and Tibertini's going to take the base on balls, take his base on first. And here comes Caden Randall, the third baseman. 1 for 1 today, got a base hit first time up. Here's the pitch. Randall feigns a bunt, pulls back, and that's a ball. 1-0 is the count. Looks like he's going to bunt again, but into the dirt again. 2-0. Terrell losing a little bit of control here. He has had a couple wild pitches score runs. Takes his sign. Here's the pitch. Low and inside on that one as well. 3-0. You figure Randall's going to take this one. Here's the pitch inside. Back-to-back walks for Terrell. Here comes the pitching coach to have a conversation with Terrell as we get ready for Kato Takahashi, who flew out to right field in his first at bat. Kato from Tokyo, Japan. This team has players from Mexico, Australia, Japan, Italy. Zach, no shortage of international blood on this roster. Kind of a cool story with head coach Zach Chilton. Came into a brand new program last year and was able to recruit 37 guys for season 1 of Lions baseball. Extraordinary effort from Zach, shows the connections he has in the baseball world. Able to put together a good-looking team here to start the season. High character players as well. As a professor who has some of them in class, they're all high character guys. So well done, Coach Zach, bringing in a good band of guys for this team. Here's Kato. Pitch coming. Takes low, ball 1. Looks for the sign. Man on first and second. Here's the pitch. Into the dirt. Kato tells his teammates to take the next bag. And we're going to have DiBertini on third now and Randall on second. Kato looking to do some damage here with 2 in scoring position. There's a pitch down the middle. Terrell's needed to find one of those. He's been struggling here the last, 10, 11 pitches or so. Here comes the pitch. Inside, good eye from Kato Takahashi. Terrell ready with the pitch. Nope, shakes off the sign from his catcher. This one's good. Here he comes with the pitch. Good contact, and that drops for a base hit for Takahashi. That's going to score 2. 2 run, 2 RBI. 2 RBI single for Kato Takahashi. And the scoring continues here for the Lions. 6-1. Now the score here in the 4th inning. And here comes head coach Brian Young for the Magicians. Having a conversation with his pitcher. Doesn't look like he's pulling him at this point, though, yet, at least. Oh, yep, calling for the righty out of the bullpen. And that's going to do it for Terrell. Looks like we might be having now we got a double switch. It looks like Meglis taking the mound to pitch, which means they got to replace him in the field. And they do that with Williams. number 7. So Meglis now the pitcher. So Terrell with the rough outing today, 6 earned runs. In 3 innings. 2 hit by pitch, 2 walk batters, and 3 strikeouts. That's how his day ends. And Meglis coming in to pitch. So moving from center field to the pitching mound is Meglis, replaced by Williams out in center field. Looks like Meglis is all warmed up here. We're going to see Cy Peterson once again. Elk Grove, California, by way of Feather River College, the transfer. The lefty. So we're going to get a right versus left here to start off with Meglis. Takahashi on first. Low and in the dirt. Ball 1. Peterson hit by a pitch, scored a run last time up. There's the pitch for Meglis. Inside. Ball 2. Bottom of the 4th inning, 6-1 to score. Lions ahead. Pitch from Meglis is up high for ball 3. Loses his hat in the process. Meglis trying to get his feet under him a little bit here. Comes the pitch. Right down the middle. As expected, Peterson takes that one for a strike. 3-1 is the count. Peterson calls a timeout at the plate. Steps back in now. Meglis getting ready here. Checks the runner. Here comes the pitch. High and inside, and that's going to be a base on balls for Peterson. Or did he get hit again? Correction, he was hit again. That's, I believe, 4 hit by pitches today between the two games for Cy Peterson. So Takahashi goes to second. Peterson the first on the hit by pitch. And we're back to the top of the order with Evidente. He's been hit by a pitch today. Led off with a single in the first inning. He scored 2 runs. Good game for Evidente so far. Steps in against Meglis. Still nobody out. Pitch low in the dirt. Ball 1. Evidente showing bunt. Here's the pitch from Meglis. Contact to center field. Is it going to drop? It drops in there for a base hit. Scoring. Scoring is Takahashi from second. Peterson on to third, and that's a RBI base hit for Evidente. 7-1 your score here in the 4th inning. So a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, a single in the first, and now an RBI single in the 4th. Great game thus far from Evidente. And here's David Robeloff, the right fielder. Ball's a bit high. Robeloff in his last at bat had an RBI single, scored a run. He's 1 for 2 for today. Runner goes. Gets a big head start there, does Evidente. That's a stolen base. It's a 1-1 count here for Robeloff. 2 men in scoring position, Peterson and Evidente. That ball fouled back. 1-2. Ball way high coming in from Meglis. Meglis looking around at the runners. Gets his sign into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Good contact from Robeloff. That's going to way out to center field. The center fielder's back there to make the catch, but tagging are both runners. That's going to score another run and bring Evidente to third. So an RBI sac fly for Robeloff. Eight 1 is your score here, bottom of the 4th inning. Lions on top. And here's the pinch hitter, Valenzuela Jr. Designated hitter. Strike down the middle. Strike 1, there's the count on Valenzuela. Still have Evidente on third. Rosalino looking to bring him home. Comes the pitch. Good contact over to the shortstop, picked up there well. The toss to first, and that's the out. That's going to be 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring up Trey Williams, the lefty. Two outs, one man on, 8-1. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 4 runs in already this inning. Excuse me, 5 runs in. Evidente scoring on the last play. Nine one's your score, bottom of the 4th. 2 outs, nobody on. Trey Williams, here's the pitch. Low into the dirt. Bengals loses the ball in the sun. Meglis with the pitch. High and inside. Williams ready. Here comes the pitch from Meglis. Williams gets a good hold of that one way back to the wall. Falls just in front of the wall. Left fielder picks it up, but that's going to be a double for Trey Williams. About 3 feet short of a home run there for Williams, but nonetheless, he's on base at second. And we're going to see Campbell. Jackson Campbell representing, batting through the order. He's the last batter in the 9. Marrero having a discussion with Meglis on the mound. I would assume just telling him, hey, you got your defense behind you. Let's get out of this inning. Producer Jesse taking care of me with some candy. Joe over here begging. But Joe didn't bring me anything when he went out, so therefore, guess these are mine, Joe. Need some concessions open here. Need some hot dogs, some pretzels. First pitch ball for Meglis, 1-0. One and one on the second pitch strike. Campbell struck out his first time up and then flew out to the outfield. Pitch made some contact back to the pitcher. It's up, makes the throw to first, and that'll end the inning. But 5 runs in for your Lions, and that makes the score 9-1, heading into the top of the 5th inning here at Skyline High School in Mesa. top of the 5th inning. Austin Watson still on the mound for Justice. And leading off is Bevill, the outfielder. Flew out to center field his last time up. Two strikes. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Watson says, I'm not done yet. And here comes Smith, the second baseman. Correction, the third baseman. Smith struck out his first time up. Watson with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Watson throwing with some intensity out there right now. There's the pitch from Watson. Into the dirt a little bit low. Ball 1-1. Watson, deep breath, takes his sign into the stretch. And the pitch. Hit towards center field. That's going to fall for a base hit for Smith. First hit allowed by Watson today. Had a couple men on base, hit on pitch, and a couple walks, but first hit allowed. And there's a strike. Right away on the next batter. That's Williams, who came in for Meglis, and he puts the bat on the ball out to center field. Peterson there. They're talking. Catch is made. Fortunately, no collision out there. Everybody's okay, and that's an out. Top of the order, back to Rivera. Walked his last time up. There's the pitch from Watson. A little bit outside. Oh, actually, they called that a strike. Looks like right on the line. Watson takes a look at first base, checking the runner. Into the stretch. Here's the pitch. Wild pitch to the backstop. That's going to advance the runner to second. That'll put Smith on second. Watson with the pitch. Swinging a tip. 1-2 is the count on Rivera. Watson with the pitch, a little bit low. despite Jackson Campbell's attempt to frame that pitch. Was a little bit low, 2-2. Rivera calls time at home plate. Steps back in. Watson takes a look at the runner on second. Here comes the pitch. Almost hits the batter. Rivera almost hit by a pitch last time up, but he was leading way over the plate on that last one. This one did come in a little bit more on him. Here's the pitch from Watson. Check swing that wasn't a check swing. They'll throw it down to first for the out. And that'll do it for the top of the fifth. No runs scored. DiBertini to lead it off in the bottom of the fifth for the Lions. We're going to get some changes here from Coach Zach with the 9-1 lead here in the fifth. We'll let some of the guys off the bench here to play. All right, so we're up to bat here. Should have been DiBertini, but no, we've got a switch, and that's Isaac Salea, another Ottawa University transfer. We do still have Meglis coming in and pitching. So here comes the first pitch. Strike down the middle. 0-1 is the count. Isaac Salea. Bats right, throws right. Plays shortstop and second base. That pitch in the dirt. So we're looking at a 1-1. comes the pitch from Meglis. High and outside. 2-1. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. Outside again. Good eye there from Salea. 3-1 is the count. Meglis started the day in the outfield. Came in as a relief pitcher. Call that a strike. Batter thought that was a little low, but that's a full count, 3-2. Pitch from Meglis is high, and that's going to be a walk for Salea. Good eye. Caden Randall, still in the game, comes up to bat, walked and scored a run his last time up. Had a single earlier in the game as well. Here's the pitch. Outside. So we got Salea on first, Randall at the plate, Meglis pitching, and a 9-1 score here in the bottom of the fifth. Here comes the pitch. Up high. Meglis might be a bit concerned about Salea, thinking he might be looking to lead off and then eventually steal. Randall ready at the plate. Meglis checks the runner. There's the pitch, low in the dirt. Meglis looking to right the ship here. Here's the pitch from Meglis. Up high, and that's a walk for Randall. 2 walks in a row in his last 2 times at the plate. And that'll send Salea over to second as well. So good patience at the plate from Randall the last couple times up. Now in the place where Kato Takahashi would have hit, we have Calvin Curio from Grays Harbor College in Washington. First baseman. Here's a pitch. Looks at it coming in for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Meglis with the pitch inside. Strike 2. Looks to be Curio's first at bat of the season. Makes contact down the left side. See if it falls in. Nope, that's going to go out foul. Just a little late on the swing, but good, strong contact from Curio. Sends Randall back to first and Salea back to second. Lions dugout imploring him for a hit. Runner goes. Runners both go. Ball's loose. Well, they called him out at the plate, I believe, but runners both advance. So now we have Salea on third and Randall on second. And then where Peterson was, we have Braden Morton now from Santan Foothills High School right here in Queen Creek. All in ones that count. Meglis with the pitch. Curveball just a bit outside. Meglis and his catcher both wanted that one. Looked like a decent pitch, but the umpire saw it out and called it as a ball. Meglis eyes the runners at second and third. Into the stretch. And the pitch. Up high. Pitch from Meglis. Right down the middle for a strike. 2-2. Correction, that was a 3-1 pitch, and that earned the walk. Good eye from Morton with the base on balls. Was an open base there, so he just went and took his place there. Now we got the bases loaded. Coming to the plate in place of Evanente, Markello Douglas. Markello Douglas, second baseman utility player at Deer Valley High School in Glendale. Maybe his first at-bat of the season as well. Big swing on the opening pitch. Strike one. Pitch from Meglis. Outside. Ball one. So 1-1 is the count. Bases loaded here. Bottom of the fifth. 9-1 is your score in favor of the Lions. Meglis looks in for his sign. Gets the sign. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count. For Douglas. Steps back in the box. Readies for the next pitch. And here it comes. Makes contact, pops it up towards center field. Coming in short, but the center fielder looks to be there. Bringing it in, but tagging and scoring is Salea. So a sac fly RBI for Douglas. (10-1). And now up to the plate, we have Boston Wade in place of David Rubloff. Strike one, big swing. Boston, the outfielder from Mountain Ridge High School in Harriman, Utah. Here's the pitch from Meglis. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Wade steps in and is ready. Here's the pitch from Meglis. Pops it foul. 1-2. Pitch from Miglis. Little bouncer over the top of the pitcher. Off the foot of the second baseman, and Wade is safe. In to score, Caden Randall. 11-1 is your score. That's going to score as an E4. The error on the second baseman. Your first pitch strike on Anthony Navarro out of Glendale. Transferred from Midland University. He's replacing Valenzuela Jr. 0-2 is the count quickly on Navarro. Comes a pitch from Miglis. Fouls that off to the right. Just out of play there for the first baseman. 0-2, still the count. Navarro can play some second base and some outfield. Miglis shaking off the signs. Finally takes one he likes. Navarro calls timeout and steps back. Steps back in, readies for the pitch. Miglis getting in. Here's a pitch. Almost threw behind him there. Way inside for the ball, so that's 1-2. Pitch up high. 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Contact toward the shortstop. Bounces off the shortstop, and he can't do anything with it. Advances the runners. Bases are loaded. That's going to be scored as an E6. Error on the shortstop. Excuse me. That's correct. E6. Yes. So we got Morton on third, Wade on second, and Navarro on first. Now we're looking at Alex Aguirre. Aguirre came in for Williams, takes the ball, 1-0. Eleven to 1 your score, bottom of the fifth. Ball low. Nope. Calling a strike. 1-1. Looked low. The fans in the dugout disagree, but strike one, says the ump. 1-1. Pitch from Miglis up high. 2-1's the count. Meglis with the pitch. Some contact. Going in short. Is it going to drop? Great catch from the center fielder. And that's going to end the inning. Hustle play and a diving catch by the center fielder. But not before 2 more runs score. A couple errors assessed to the Magicians. And we head to the top of the 6th, 11-1. All right, top of the 6th inning. 11-1 is the score in favor of the Lions. Lozano leads off the inning. Makes contact. Pops it up over to third base. Oh, correction, off the ground on the high hopper to third base. Foul ball. Pitches up high. Still Watson on the mound. Watson working on 1 earned run. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings thus far. Strong outing from both of the starting pitchers today for Justice. There's the pitch. A little bit low. There's another ball. Pitch from Watson, a little bit high, and he walks the batter there on that one. 4 pitches. Meglis back up to bat. Started off the day as a center fielder. Now the pitcher keeps his spot in the order, though. Flew out to left field. Correction, flew out to right field last time up. Pitch was outside, ball 1. Into the stretch. Man on first. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. 1-1 is the count. Lozano out on first base for the Magicians. LeMoyne Owen traveled all the way here from Memphis, Tennessee. There's another strike, 1-2. Those East Coast teams and Eastern U.S. teams like to come out to the West during this time of year, leave the snow and the icy cold, and come out, and it's 77 degrees right now on the field. Here's the pitch from Watson. Contact to short. Ball sails under his legs. Man going to third. That's going to go down as an error. Error on the shortstop there. Meg was to first. Lozano got to third. A little bit slow on the pickup in the outfield. I don't know that they thought that man was running, but ball's high and inside for Polnitz, the first baseman who flew out both of his times up. He's 0-2 today. Man on first and third. 11-1 is your score in favor of Justice. Here's the pitch. Runner goes to second, or you just let him go there. No chance at a throw. So 2 men in scoring position for the Magicians. Meglis on second, Lozano on third, with Polnitz up to bat. Polnitz gets some good contact. Thinking it's out, and it is out. Home run for Polnitz after going 0-2 to start the day. Gets a 3-run home run here in the 6th. That's going to make the score 11-4. Three RBIs, 3-run home run for Polnitz. Still nobody out here. Oh, correction. 2 outs here. Apologize. No, that's not true. Nobody out. See, this is why, Matt, you need to be here doing the scorebook, because when I'm doing it, it all looks convoluted. Marrero's up to bat here. Takes the first pitch, a ball, 1-0. Here's the pitch. Contact again. Sends the ball out to left field. Fielded well by the left fielder who swings it in, but that's a base hit for Marrero. Watson looking to struggle a bit here. Got Coleman up at bat here. With Marrero on first. There's the 80th pitch of the afternoon from Watson, and it's a strike. 11-4. There's the pitch. Contact again. Heading out to the outfield. Sending the runner to third. They're going to hold him there, but the damage is done. That's a stand-up double for Coleman. Here comes Coach Zach out to the mound. Watson with a good showing thus far today until this inning. He's struggled this inning. Walked a batter, then an error on the shortstop, followed by a home run by Polnitz. That's the 3 runs scored, but we still have Marrero on third and Coleman on second. Coach Zach can let Watson remain out there. Give him a minute to catch his breath. Bevel up to bat. It's the pitch, inside and low. Ball one. Pitch coming in now from Watson. Strike is the call. There's the pitch. Foul back to the backstop. Marrero on third, Coleman on second. Watson readies with the pitch to Bevel. Contact there. Slides through between short and third. He's going to score a run. Cutoff works well there. Here comes Coach Zach again. This time he's going to make a change. Marrero scores. Makes the score 11-5. Coleman to third on the single from Bevel, the RBI single. Call to the bullpen here. Brought to you by Travel Big with J2. If you're thinking of planning travel, cruises, all-inclusive resorts, or Disney travel, reach out to Travel Big with J2, 480-383-9740, or travelbigwithj2.com. Call to the bullpen for the Justice University Lions is number 25, Angel Ray Delgado. Angel from Chicago, Illinois, transfer from Kennedy King College. And up to face him, we have the third baseman, Smith, who got a single last inning. Struck out his first time up, 1 for 2. Pitch from Ray Delgado. Low. Ball one. Angel checks the runner at first. Checks the runner at third. Pitch off the backstop, wild pitch. Scores another run. So Justice has thrown 2 wild pitches for runs, as has LeMoyne Owen. That one scores Coleman. Pitch from Angel right down the middle, strike. Pitch from Angel. Comebacker to the mound, right off of him into center field. Ball's going to roll all the way to the fence. Scores another run. Going to third. Good back up to third base there. So Bevel scores. Smith to third. Smith with the RBI triple. Wild pitch again off the backstop, sends the runner home. Bases are clear. Still nobody out this inning. Eleven to 8. Contact to third. Third base gets the ball. Over to first, gets the out. Caden Randall stops the bleeding with a great play from third. Back to the top of the order again with Rivera. Pitch from Angel in low. Angel readies. Bases are empty. Puts it in there right in the middle for a strike. Pitch on the ways low and back to the backstop again. Fortunately, no one on base to capitalize on that one. Rivera in the 5th inning struck out. He's got 2 strikeouts and a walk today. Angel super frustrated with himself. Makes his way back out to the mound, trying to clear his head. Rivera looks. Here comes the pitch from Angel. There's a strike from Angel. Needed that one. Comes the pitch. Fouls that one off. 3-2, full count. Sun is brutal for these fielders right now. Field's facing west. Comes the pitch from Angel. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Gives him a little stare there. Angel needed that one. Back to Lozano, who started off this inning with a walk and has scored a run. Righty on righty here. Angel with the pitch. Off the dirt. 1-0 is the count. 2 outs. Nobody on. But a 7-run inning thus far for the Magicians. Didn't go around, says the first base umpire. 2-0. Pitch. A little bit low. 3-0. You'd imagine Lozano's about to take here. 3-0 pitch. On the way, and there's the strike Angel needed. 3-1 is the count. Angel trying to stop the bleeding in the inning here. There's the pitch. And that's going to walk him again. 2 walks in the same inning for Lozano. And here comes the pitcher, Miglis, trying to help his own effort. Coach Zach coming in. That'll be it for Angel. Calling to the bullpen here, and we'll go ahead and take that break. called to the bullpen is for the righty, Mark Graham, out of Vacaville, California. Solano Community College transfer. Meglis is going to stay in there, batting. Got on base through an error from the shortstop last inning, or last time up, and a run scored. That ball was inside for Graham. 1-0. Graham with the pitch. Up high. 2-0. Lozano out there first. Thought about running on that last one. Pitch from Graham. High and inside. 3-0. Graham with the pitch. High and in. Walks him. 2 men on, first and second now. Dangerous hitter Polnitz coming up here. Had a home run his last time up. You got to wonder if Graham will give him something to hit or if they're going to pitch around him a little bit as well. 2 outs here. This is the tying run at the plate. Graham. Strike down the middle. Polnitz thought that was inside. Unfortunately, he's not the umpire. Digs in, gets ready for the pitch. 11-8, your score. 6th inning. Here's the pitch from Graham. Low and inside. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Got Lozano on second, Meglis on first. Tying run at the plate here. And Polnitz, who hit a home run his last time up. There's the pitch. Up and in. Two and one's the count. Graham with the pitch. Up and in again. 3-1. Dugout reassuring Mark Graham. Just put the pitch in for him. And he's high there as well. That's going to be another walk. Now we got the lead run at the plate. Dangerous Marrero, who hit a 3-run home run in the first game of this doubleheader. Right in the heart of the order here. Not the best place to be when you're trying to get out of a highly productive inning for the opponent. Marrero takes his place. Hitting right. Graham thinks about it. Bases loaded. Oh, under the Justice University team van. The foul back. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss from Marrero. That's 0-2 is the count. Graham looking to get out of this inning with no more damage. Can either get a strikeout or another play, but he's got to get Marrero to avoid any further damage. Graham sets up for the pitch. Here it is. Struck him out looking. Graham gets out of the inning. A rough inning for the Lions. as they allow 7 runs, but they escape 11-8 into the bottom of the 6th. And we'll take a break. Call to the bullpen here isn't actually from the bullpen. Lozano, formerly playing short, is now pitching. And Meglos is now over to short. The jack of all trades. Starts in the outfield, pitches for a bit, and now he's at short. Leading off for the Lions, the catcher, Jackson Campbell.
Come on, I need the Aussie ball.
Jackson Campbell with the nickname Aussie takes a strike. Second pitch from Lozano is up high, 1-1. Beautiful full moon out tonight above the Superstition Mountains. Great day of baseball we've had today. Lozano's pitch is fouled back to the backstop. 1-2. Lozano's pitch, high and behind him. Totally lost Totally lost a hold of that one. 2-2. Lozano in the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Campbell pops it up. No man's land there. Here comes the left fielder. Drops the ball. And that's going to be a sliding double for the Aussie, Jackson Campbell. Good way to lead off the inning there for the Lions. Isaac Salea came in last inning, back up to bat. Walked and scored a run last inning. Lozano is getting something situated over here. Not sure what. Support around his wrist looks like maybe came loose, but looks like he's set to go again. Pitch coming from Lozano to Salea. Up high, ball one. Lozano with the pitch. Hits it over to short. Doesn't make it to first. He gets the out there, but does advance the runner to third. So Campbell is on third. Caden Randall up to the plate here. Here's the pitch. Dallin Stokes actually is in for Campbell running as a courtesy runner. Caden fouls that one back. Here comes the pitch from Lozano. Low and outside. Stay on third, says Caden to Dallin Stokes. Lozano ready for the pitch. Low and in the dirt. Another ball. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one back off the backstop again. Keeps fighting. Here's the pitch from Lozano as Randall waits. Good contact for Randall. Caught by the center fielder, but tagging is Stokes. Coming in to score. Always like adding a run at this point, especially after the inning we had last inning. This will be a sac fly RBI. Curio now takes the strike. Curio takes the pitch. They're up high. 1-1 is the count. Pitch is coming. A little bit low, says the umpire. Curio makes good contact, and that drops in for a base hit. Curio sets on first with a base hit for the Lions. $12 to 8 your score here, bottom of the 6th inning. Lozano with the pitch. Fouled back. Oh and 1 for Braden Morton. Foul tip. Going to send Curio back to first. Attempted a steal on second, but has to take that long jog back to first after the foul ball. Lozano checks the runner at first. Into the stretch. Pitch. Low and in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Morton makes contact but sends that one foul. 1-2 remains the count. Morton walked his last time up. 1 inning ago. Lozano looking for a sign. Gets it into the stretch. And the pitch. Low. There goes the runner. Curio in safely into second base. So a runner in scoring position for Morton. Now with a 2-2 count. Little hopper over the pitcher. Picked up by the second baseman who throws it. And they get the out at first to end the inning. But another run scored by the Lions makes the score 12-8. Going to the top of the 7th. Lions 3 outs away from their second win of the day. We'll be right back. Top of the 7th inning, Lions 3 outs away from a second win of the day. Mark Graham back into pitch. Came in last inning. Got out of a mess. Coleman makes contact way out to deep center field. Can't quite get there as a center fielder, so that's going to be a stand-up double for the leadoff Coleman. Bevel up to bat now. Bevel with an RBI single last inning, also scored a run. Flew out first time up, struck out as well, so he is 1 for 3 so far today. Graham gets set. Here comes the pitch. A little bit high, says the umpire. Not from our vantage point, but we're not directly behind the plate, so. Graham in the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss from Bevel. 1-1. It's another strike on Bevel. Coleman out on second in scoring position. Bevel ready for the pitch to come, and here it is. Up high and inside for Graham. Jackson Campbell says, calm down, calm down. Graham set to pitch. Comes, it's fouled back again. Right over the top of the Prof G mobile that time. Comes the pitch to Bevel. Fouls it back off the backstop, fighting it off. Graham trying to get this batter out of the way. Bevel keeps fighting him off, though. Here's the pitch. There's a hit to third base. Oh, first baseman drops it, and that's going to score a run. And that's going to be Bevel's on second base now, and the run scores. That was Coleman that scored. Need to score that in E3. Error on the first baseman. But Bevel now on second off the error. Now the dangerous hitter off the back step. Here's Smith. Two out of three today is Smith. Graham looks in. There's the pitch. Hits the second base. Facing him down. We got a run down here between third and second. Randall is fast. Randall tags him out. Randall playing a good old-fashioned game of tag, but he's paying a little bit of the price for it now. He's up running it off, but he took a spill. So Bevel tagged out on that one by Caden Randall with a great hustle play. Smith is now on first. We got one out here in the 7th. Graham looks in at Williams. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Graham looking in, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Pops it up to the outfield. Right fielder gets underneath it. He's got that ball, and that's 2 outs in the inning. Rivera coming up, 1 out away from the Lions getting a 2-game sweep in the doubleheader today. But it is 12-9, so nothing over yet. There's a pitch right down the middle for a strike for Graham. 0-1. Graham gets his sign. Into the stretch, the windup, the pitch. Little bit high, just above the jersey on that one. Graham gets set. Here's the next pitch. And unfortunately, he hits Rivera, who looked like he might have leaned in on it just a little bit, but ball was definitely inside. So we got the tying run here at the plate. That is Lozano. Campbell going to go out and have a conversation with Graham. Says, let's get this done. Tying run at the plate. 1 out away from a Justice win. 12-9 here in the 7th inning. Graham readies. Gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Foul back to the backstop. 0-1. Graham gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Right down the center for a strike. Batter thought it was a bit high, but umpire says no, that's right on the letters. Lozano. 1 strike to go here. If Graham can just get to that, here comes the pitch. Contact made. Picked up and fielded to the second baseman. And that's a win for the Lions. 2 wins today in their doubleheader against LeMoyne Owen from Memphis, Tennessee. 12-9 your final in this game. 7-6 the last game. Well done, Lions. There's a 3rd game tomorrow, Sunday. We will not be able to broadcast that one just due to scheduling issues. But Justice going for the 3-game sweep tomorrow. But for Matt Shively, I'm Prof G. We've enjoyed having you with us here today. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again on our next broadcast. If you don't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know when the broadcasts are coming. Also, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and follow our podcast on Apple Podcasts as well. Have a great evening under this beautiful full moon out here in Mesa.